Tri-City Sports Now, you got Billson here. Marky Billson. Listen to me on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio every noon to 2. Or jetbroadcasting.live. You can hear the entire station. I was listening earlier to, the pinch hitters of the Dan Patrick Show. Trying to talk about the XFL, and it just went, in and out comment and all that. But no, I do like, as one of my monologue is, I do like the nicknames. They end in S. And so the nicknames of the XFL teams do not sound like they are fly-by-night teams. And you want to know something else? I mean, you get a lot of this also, I think, now in minor league baseball. Now it's become a big thing for minor league baseball to have, the Florida Fire Frogs or whatever. Isn't that... They're amphibians. How do you get fire with frogs? Unless you're cooking the frog, it tastes like chicken. Unless you're doing that, by the way, it does. Okay, I've had frog legs. Yes, I enjoy the finer things in life, and so tastes like chicken. Truly, it does. Okay, let's say you've got that, but no, you just anyhow. Wanted to get to the sponsors. And again, we're going to be covering Unicoi County football again this year, play-by-play action of the Blue Devils. And here we go. We've got 22 sponsors on board at least. Of course, if you are interested in sponsoring the Unicoi County Blue Devils season, and they basically are projected to win their first ever division title, or district title, I guess you could call it, but they're projected to win it for the first time since the 80s. Last year was their first playoff victory in 33 years. And that was the 80s. Well, I'm a child of the 80s. That's why they bring me back as the play-by-play broadcaster, okay? I've got, what is my one-loss record as, this is the most biased thing in the world here. All-time, Unicoi County is 20-11 when I've called the game. What do you think about that? And when you consider their all-time, record as a loser, and there are more than enough 0-11 seasons in there, so there you go. I'm 20-11. But these games will be brought to you by Christian Care Center of Irwin, retirement and assisted living. And I'll be honest with you here. How did this show start? How did I start hosting it? My grandparents, beloved grandparents, they were in their 90s, and I was writing for Saturday Down South, and basically taking care of them to a certain, they were still capable people and all this, but my grandmother was on a walker, and my grandfather is hard of hearing. They're in their mid-90s, okay? That sort of thing. And were incredibly active for what they were for their age, but still. And so, I would make the meals. I would, drive. My grandfather always drove. The day he died. But I would drive them, this sort of thing. So I would do those sort of things for them. And when this opportunity came up, I was like, I don't want to, disband you. And he said, no, we're going to an assisted living facility. Thank you very much. But no, we want to go to an assisted living facility. And for that, they really were treated very well for the most part. I remember one time my grandmother was, towards the end of her life, and they had a dining hall. And she could not go down to the kitchen, to the dining hall, the 2 stories on the elevator. She no longer had the energy for that. And I remember the wait staff were going to pray for her. We're going to, so that's assisted living. That's Christian Care Center of Irwin. Dr. Jason Cunningham, the dentist right there on Main Street. He's got financial plans, by the way, for you to keep sure your teeth are shining bright. Irwin Utilities, online billing and faster internet service. Jones and Church Farms with the finest tomatoes. They're famous for that. Jones and Church Farms. And the new substation at the mouth of Rock Creek in Irwin. Try the new substation at the mouth of Rock Creek in Irwin. Those are all sponsors of Unicoi County football this year. And we'll be getting to a few others. Braves continue to be hot. The Braves, of course, and I mentioned this before, the Braves are simply, I just don't see any way the Nats are going to catch them, although I guess they won 11-1 against the Pirates yesterday, but that was against the Pirates, right? Okay, so anyway, but, Atlanta's playing Miami, and perhaps that allows the Braves and all the, I mentioned here, there's a chance that 4 of these teams in the National League East will all have winning records. Why? Well, they all get 18 games against the Marlins. That kind of explains that. Or 18 odd games, I suppose I should say. But no, it's probably the difference, though, winning and losing record for a team like the Phillies. For a team like the Braves, no. This is a team that, they're going places. They're going to win the division. And the Braves yesterday, now let's see here. Do we have they were a 5-0 winner with Julio Teheran, the winning pitcher, getting his 8th victory and lowering his ERA to 3.53 on the campaign. But of course, recorded highlights of a baseball game of a ground ball to shortstop, even if it is really and truly the story of the game, are not necessarily as interesting as, well, let's say this.
Yes.